Hi, it's Andy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the A.D.K Rock and Metal channel. Today we're going to be talking about some Rob Zombie and his debut single from back in the day, Dragula. Before we get to that, a quick word from today's video sponsor. Okay, so the way that we do this is we watch the video in advance, we make all our notes, and then we're going to play you 1 minute by 1 minute clips from the video, and we'll talk all about them as we go. So let's kick this one off. Before we get to that, I should know, Rob Zombie is known for multiple things, obviously as a solo artist, but obviously from the band White Zombie. Fucking love White Zombie, which were originally around in 1985. This was his debut single off of Hellbilly Deluxe. Was like 1998 when he went.
Can I just pick out White Zombie? They only really became big because of Beavis and Butthead in '93, didn't they?
That was one of the main ones. I mean, Thunder Kiss is probably one of their biggest hits.
The '95 album, Astro Creep 2000 was the big one.
Huge, yeah, love that. He's actually done 7 studio albums, which is good. But he's also known as a horror director that puts his wife in every single freaking film.
Yeah, he even did a remake of Halloween 2. What a strange thing to do.
Yeah, bit of an odd one, but great ones are like House of a Thousand Corpses. Phenomenal horror film. Love that film.
This guy is a horror buff.
He does love his horror. But anyway, right, we're going to give you the first minute of the song, and then we're going to talk about it. So here we go. Okay, there we go. So first minute, he's got his horror visuals, hasn't he? He's doing this usual horror. It feels quite retro, considering he also did the Monsters remake recently. It almost has like a multicolored Monsters vibe going on with the Dragula bit. It's got a dance beat. It's got a cool guitar lead, because he is known for his industrial elements in his music.
Industrial metal, isn't it?
It's industrial dance metal in a way. Gritty vocals. I like the fact that he was literally just like gritty vocals with no backing, like na 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 na. I mean, we're getting into like the other bands that were doing things around that sort of time, Marilyn Manson and stuff like that. But yeah, cool. It was industrial. Kirk.
Yeah, I wrote this song off at the time as Marilyn Manson shock rock. Although 1998 is when I was just getting, moving from grunge to heavier stuff.
Yeah.
And I did like Marilyn Manson, and then they used to play it on MTV2 all the time, even in the early 2000s, and it annoyed me even more. And now I find that I like this song.
It was very dancey, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's almost...
It's a disco beat, the drum.
Even though it's just... The guitar riffs are very simple, and the drums are just very basic. It's just too poppy dancey.
Do you know what?
That's what puts people off.
The production on this is phenomenal.
Yeah,
1998. This is really expensive production, and yeah, I mean, I think the beat is fantastic. It is like an electronic disco beat. I've used this word already with like a militaristic metal riff. Ministry are the main influence here, aren't they? Musically, Prong, Rude Awakening has the same beat. But
here is the thing, like, so when we talk about this, 1998 sort of time period, so I would have been going, so 1998, 20, I was going to metal clubs. So we would have been going to, on a Friday night, we would have been at the Electric Ballroom for their metal night. I guarantee something like this would come on, or Marilyn Manson's Beautiful People. Every metalhead would be on the dance floor jumping around like a fucking tit.
Oh, definitely for the beautiful people.
The beautiful people. And everyone would just, so every time I saw it, if it was a pure thrash metal song, the dance floor would half empty and people would just go to the bar and stuff and just listen. Yeah, but any time you could dance and it was metal, so the other one that would go on, you'd have Marilyn Manson's Beautiful People, Dragula, and then they'd pull out things like Faith No More's Epic. Yeah. That would fill the floor
or like
as well.
Ministry, Just One Fix.
Yeah, anything that was industrial elements would always throw it in, but I've got to know what Andy thinks of this.
Well, you echoed what I said. I mean, I've put down pop metal. This
industrial metal, I'd say.
Well,
it's industrial, but
it's pop metal with industrial elements is what I've written down.
Structure's pop, isn't it? Yeah. Catchy.
I mean, there's some sort of industrial elements which are quite good. I mean, video-wise, I really like the sort of interplay between the old film clips and the colorization that he's using and the filters and the effects that he's using on the shots of himself. I mean, it's all about theatrics with this guy, I guess. He's got a look and an appearance and a style. I mean, how does this compare to White Zombie?
White Zombie's better.
Yeah,
sorry, they are.
They're a lot more metal. They started off more as like a New York noise rock band. People forget they were originally a New York band because Tommy Victor had interviewed him.
Yeah.
We were talking about the scene, and he remembers them because he used to work at CBGB's, Tommy Victor, before Prong got signed, and even he was like, yeah, people just forget they were a New York band. And Beavis and Butthead really did kickstart the career because they were on tour with Anthrax at the time, you know, on the Sound of the White Noise era. And that song blew up, to use the modern parlance. And for a while, I would agree, between 93 to 95, these were the most exciting metal band in the mainstream, along with Type O Negative. Those two bands at the time were just, everyone was talking about them.
I saw White Zombie headline at the Brixton Academy, absolutely phenomenal, back in 95, I think it would have been.
Did anyone
off the
call them?
Creep.
No one called them industrial metal at the time, though. They were just like, it's a metal band.
They were phenomenal. I mean, let's kick into the next minute, so minutes 1 to minute 2. So yeah, this is where the chorus comes in. So you've got the big catchy chorus. It's that plodding beat. It's not like it's a big metal beat. It's just a plodding, simplest. They could have used a drum machine to do this.
Yeah.
And hooky vocals. Now this is where I actually made the note. It's a very White Zombie-esque in its delivery, but without the attitude.
Husky, isn't it?
Yeah.
So.
It's almost a little bit too sterile and too precise, this song. White Zombie was dirtier. White Zombie had, I mean, when you had Jay on the guitar, who did some amazing guitar work on Astro Creep, you had Sean on bass, absolutely phenomenal. And this is obviously the later iteration of the band for the last album. So they had almost a punk rock attitude in White Zombie whilst delivering industrial. This is Rob Zombie doing his part of taking his White Zombie vision and doing it on himself, basically. He's gone out there and he's put musicians around him, but it's his vision.
I think that's what split the band in 95, because he wanted to go in an industrial direction and the others... What's the female member called? Sean, she was not having it. She didn't want to go in that direction.
She went off and did famous Monsters or something.
Yeah,
I think it's
but
called.
she didn't want to do the processed beats, the industrial 9 Inch Nails, Marilyn Manson.
She had more of a punk. Famous Monsters is a good band. But yeah, it almost felt a little bit too precise, too clean, that they lost the attitude that I loved of White Zombie. When you listen to like More Human, Supercharger Heaven, stuff like that from them, it's phenomenal off that album. And even if everyone knows Thunder Kiss is such a great beat and track, so when that kicks in again at a club, it's phenomenal. But chorus for you, anything from that? Not a lot.
I don't know whether I was.
Compensation was kicking in at this point.
Again, if it doesn't grab, I mean, this is the weakest song in the whole roster that we've covered over. For me, because it's not my sort of thing.
No,
I mean the video. I really do like the video overall. The mix of the clips. I mean, some very, very strange images coming up.
Yeah.
Interspersed. I mean, he's even performing in front of the video, the film clips. But again, it's just this preemption notion of what you expect from a band. I didn't like White Zombie. White Zombie. Never heard this. It's almost like I kind of know a bit about you, and there's nothing you're going to do that's going to change that opinion.
No,
which is quite narrow-minded.
Do you kind of feel like you're a bit too old for it? Is it that shock rock element where you just think, oh, this is for teenagers who want to rebel against
I'm
the
not quite sure who it's aimed at, this particular.
The problem with industrial metal, whether it's be the Marilyn Manson,
See, I've never been Marilyn Manson.
whether you're talking about 9 Inch Nails, when you talk, a lot of people will look at that and go, well, "That's just not metal. It has metal elements on it, but it's not dance music."
Yeah.
Industrial music sits in its completely own category. It just borrows a few bits from everyone else. And metalheads can like industrial music, dance people can like industrial music, but if you're really looking for really good heavy guitars and stuff that have got good solos, you're not going to get that from industrial.
The only band where you do get some stunning thrash riffs is Ministry, isn't
Ministry
it?
is probably the one time
they went out of their way to play Metallica and Slayer
when he
riffs,
did Revolting Cocks and shit like that.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
All right, let's play the last couple of minutes of the song for you at home. Okay, so I haven't got a huge amount of notes on my last couple of minutes. The main thing I picked out was the distinctive look of the videos, and what reminded me of was when they did, was it Beavis and Butthead Do America?
Yeah.
And they had the tripping out on the cactus acid, because he actually did the whole videography for that. So the whole of
Rob Zombie?
Rob Zombie actually did that for the movie. So he does the whole scene of when they're all tripping out and they're all, and he's such a distinctive artist himself that, because he did all the artwork for the albums and all of their sort of things.
Did he do the video for Red Hot Chili Peppers' Beavis and Butthead soundtrack, Roller Coaster of Love?
I'm not sure if he did.
I wonder if he did that. Do you remember that?
I remember. It was quite a cheesy video.
Roller Coaster of
Love, yeah. But he was involved in the main video of it. So you always know when you're watching a certain clip of animation if it's a Rob Zombie animation, because he's got a very distinctive style. But basically, the whole thing is just the same. You could listen to the first 40 seconds of this song, and you know how the rest of the song is going to go, because it doesn't change. It doesn't musically. It's just more.
That's why it's industrial, isn't it? Yeah, that's the challenge.
And that's the challenge of it. But as I said, my last night was. I've always said it. It's just if you're going to a rock metal nightclub. This is great music. It's to dance to. It's to have fun with. But on its own, sit to me. Final thoughts, Kirk.
Question from a tech. Do you know, because it's so husky, the voice, if he did a world tour, which he did around this time, because I remember him playing Manchester Academy, that must be so difficult having to sing like that every night. Dragula!
Well, the problem, the biggest
really pushing it there.
Well, the biggest problem I had with Rob Zombie was he was so energetic on stage. He ran the stages. So if you watch him, when he played 1995's Metallica Escape from the Studio at Donington, they were second or third band on after Corrosion for Me. I think it was Corrosion for Me, Warrior Soul, then White Zombie, and then Machine Head after that. And he gets on stage and he starts like, and he's singing Devil Man. He's like, Devil Man, Devil Man.
Yeah, that's
Devil Man. He's out of breath. He's like,
you're gonna
stop running and sing the fucking song. I want to hear you sing. I don't want to hear you out of breath, mate.
How many vocalists? That's never really going to be natural unless you're like Leonard Cohen and you smoke so many cigarettes and you end up talking like that. He would find that difficult. If you're doing a world tour, I would want to go out and have to sing like that every night.
He'll blow your voice.
Dragula! You know,
he
really
can do
straining.
it, but yeah, he has to calm down his. And you have seen it on more of the. Nowadays, he doesn't do the running the stage that he did in the early days. But in the early days, he would jump, he'd run. Watch any of the White Zombie live videos, and he's out of breath all the fucking time.
Do you know, like the early Stone Temple Pilots album? Scott Weiland sounds like that. I am smelling like a rose that somebody gave me on my birthday. Get bad. You know that song, don't you?
That's not bad.
That is a fucking tune.
If anyone needs a new vocalist, we have Kirk. Here we go. Right, come on. Let's give Andy a chance to get any final thoughts on it before we move on.
Well, at this section, I put it was thankfully short at 3 minutes 5 seconds. But no, there's no denying his creativeness in sort of visuals. You know, from his own personal look and this character he's created for his musical performance, and some of the the videos and projects that you've described he's been involved in. So, you know, I'm not saying he's not talented or you know, enjoyable to watch. It's just not my sort of thing.
Just not your thing.
No.
Okay, well there you go. That was Rob Zombie. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. If you like, please do like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the video sometime very soon. Take care.